It came to light for y'all that this dude wanted me dead way before I came to YouTube.
I'm not the type of dude that you can come up on like
Bro, listen. We out here to get content. You're not gonna tell me what to do.
You can't come up on me.
Bro, listen.
If you come up on me, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out.
That's what I say.
That's what I say. That's what I say. No, bro.
After reportedly being attacked by fans of Sean Combs for speaking out against him, Gene Deal is now being publicly defended by Katt Williams. Sources claim this is not the first time Diddy has allegedly sent people after either Gene or Katt, and now Gene is once again said to be facing targeted harassment for refusing to stay silent about the accusations surrounding Diddy.
What did I do?
What did you do to him first inside the courtroom?
Lady.
What did you do to Mr. Gene Deal inside the courtroom right before my eyes? And why did I have to get in your face like this and tell you to step back from him? Why did I have to stand in front of Mr. Deal behind me and tell you to back up off of him?
Because it was two men handling business.
And then what happened? But what happened?
That's for me to know.
But what did you do? So why are you not telling the truth? My name is Candor. I'm transparent. I'm true. Candor.
I can't.
But you didn't have the same energy with him when he came outside either.
When he came outside, he left.
Man, get out of here.
He left. He left, yo. What are you talking?
What he look like telling somebody to whoop my ass? He didn't tell him that. He wanted me in the dirt and was trying to rock me to sleep. He knew where I was at.
Roger Bonds, a former security guard for Sean Combs, claimed that Diddy ordered his guards to attack Gene Deal on sight, alleging the threats were serious and backed by real attempts to ambush him. Gene Deal has reportedly echoed those concerns in a recent video, saying he has been moving cautiously and avoiding certain places because he believes his life is in danger, while also alleging that Diddy sent street associates after him with instructions to beat him whenever they encountered him.
It came to light for y'all that this dude wanted me dead way before I came to YouTube. Because I was having meetings with serious dudes in the street. And he refused to sit down. So what did he do? He tell his security team. He didn't tell the NYPD officers. He didn't tell the Department of Correction officers. He didn't tell none of the parole officers or anybody he had working for him that was officers. He told street dudes who had did dirt in the street. When y'all see Gene, y'all do him dirty. Y'all beat him up. He ain't tell him to beat me up. What I look like getting beat up? What a grown man look like, somebody smacking him around, hitting him and all this shit like that. I ain't taking no ass whooping. I ain't took an ass whooping since the fucking doctor spanked me on my fucking ass. I ain't took an ass whooping since my mama and my daddy. When they stopped taking it, I guess I'm got amnesia. I don't know what an ass whooping look like or feel like.
Some believe the situation goes beyond personal conflict, alleging that Sean Combs is trying to send a message through intimidation and fear, but Gene Deal has reportedly made it clear that he refuses to be intimidated. According to Gene, he knows how to protect himself and is not the type to sit back while Diddy does whatever he wants, warning that if Diddy is looking for a confrontation, then he should be prepared for one in return.
He say, yo, you got questions to answer. For who? I said, if you want me to answer questions, do interview. I got a booking number, then you do interview. I'll answer any of your questions. I ain't got no problem of answering anything that you want to know. All you got to do is pay my fee and I'll be there. He said, well, you ain't going to tell me how to get the contact. And as soon as he said that, and he came like he was coming close to me, I took it back to 92. Wu-Tang, protect your neck. And that's all I'm gonna say. I took it back to that. I took it back to 1992 Wu-Tang, protect your neck. And he know what I'm talking about. Then when I did that, then next thing you know, a girl came, the guards started coming and stuff like that. And he told the guards, yo, watch the camera. He hit me. That's what he said to the guard. So one guard was like this. One guard got in front of me and I moved. He said, yo, Gene. He said, yo, Gene, because he know me. He said, yo, Gene, you could just knock me down, bro. Just take a couple of days and get up out of here. And so I was leaving. So he ran and got his camera, and then somebody called my name. He called my name like that. I turned around and I just said to him, I said, yo, bro, I'm not that dude that you could just run up on. I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say. I'm a grown man. You understand? I'm not that dude that you could say whatever you want to say to, because if you run up on me, I'm going to knock you the F out. And that's how that went, bro. And there's nothing I'm proud of. You understand? But you don't talk to grown men. I don't care what kind of YouTube show you got. I don't care what kind of, you want to go viral, you want to do this and you want to do that. You conduct yourself as a gentleman. You want to call yourself a reporter. You don't see all the reporters who went to school. You don't see all the reporters who got their degrees, who got, who worked up the ladder to become who they are, yelling and screaming and cursing and saying all kind of crazy shit to people. You don't see that. But if that's what you choose to do, you choose to do that.
Gene Deal reportedly believed for years that this moment would eventually come, alleging that Sean Combs and people close to him pressured him to stay silent and stop exposing secrets behind the scenes. Supporters of these claims argue the threats were not meaningless, pointing to what they describe as a broader pattern of intimidation and retaliation within Hollywood, while also citing the personal struggles faced by Katt Williams, including losing custody of his children, after he began publicly speaking out against powerful figures in the entertainment industry.
Yo, man, K, you cool, man? How you doing
I'm
tonight,
cooler than a fan, man. They took my children from me.
Yeah, I mean,
How terrible is that?
I did want to ask, the cops, allegedly found some guns and...
Yeah, they always find guns. I never
and
leave
drugs.
without my girlfriend. I'm on the middle of an interview, sir.
Sorry about they found guns and drugs now. Is that-
Drugs?
That's what it was reported.
Sir, you can look at my paperwork. There was no drugs. Weed is not a drug.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that's safe for kids to be around guns and stuff like that? I mean, I'm just curious.
How do you keep this kid safe without guns? They were in a lockbox that the police broke.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm saying, if the police come in and raid my place and break into my gun boxes, you're gonna find guns. But these aren't. Well, I'm not in a gang. What difference does it make?
Now, you were actually stopped for this and let go because you have a license for it.
No,
right?
this is their 9th time coming to my house. The problem was this time they came to my office and took my kids from an office, not from my house, from an office. So now when I can't have my kids at my office,
That's an issue.
I must be the
definitely.
most terrible black dude.
Katt Williams has reportedly faced threats to his safety since the early 2000s, with some claims suggesting the danger became so severe that he would even sleep wearing a Kevlar vest for protection. Interview. According to Roger Bonds, Sean Combs has allegedly been sending people after Gene Deal since 2008. Gene reportedly began speaking out against Diddy years before the FBI investigation, claiming he witnessed how Diddy treated women and allegedly used actors and associates for personal gain, which sources say ultimately led Gene to distance himself from him. Supporters of these claims argue that Diddy viewed Gene as a threat because of the secrets he allegedly knew and the information he has continued revealing over the years.
But he was like, yo, if y'all see Gene, I'm telling y'all, man, somebody better punch him in the face. Somebody better do something to him, man. He out here doing this, that. And we'd be like, all right.
Okay, so when was this? Because was Gene doing interviews at this point?
Yeah, we talking like 2008, 2009. Gene was spreading the word. You know, Gene was always bad-mouthing Gene.
Wait, hold on. Vlad TV started in 2008, 2009. YouTube was really early.
No,
at that
he
point.
wasn't doing YouTube and stuff. He was going around talking a lot of shit. And we
okay.
all from Harlem. So he was just talking a lot of shit. And it's a small, Harlem
Okay,
is
so
small.
what was Gene Deal saying during that time? What did you hear?
He basically was talking about Puff and woman that was going on with him and Kim. Puff being gay, you know, with him and Usher, shit like that. He was talking the same shit that he's talking now on a major scale, but he was spreading it around Harlem.
Okay.
So it was basically a thing where, yo, if y'all see that man, I'm telling y'all better hear he got hands put on him, this, that, and the other. But we seen him.
Tissa claimed that another creator covering Sean Combs was allegedly attacked by Diddy's supporters outside a courthouse, while she herself was reportedly threatened and warned that Diddy would come after her and make her pay. According to Tissa, the incidents happened in front of police officers, whom she accused of failing to intervene or stop the alleged harassment and attacks.
Dog will holler. A hit dog will holler. A hit dog will holler. So listen, let me just tell you something, right? Because this is an interesting point that Lovely T actually point out. All the people with money, power, influences, Diddy's equal. They refuse to come and support this man because they know something was wrong. But there are a million broke, dusty, desperate, bitch-ass men out here trying to bully women. It was a travesty. It was an all-out circus. Everybody, including myself, are running to safety.
I've got a question for you, Tissa Tells, and everyone's going to want to know this. You're in a car right now. You had to leave the courthouse. Why?
I had to leave the courthouse because Diddy's supporters were out of control. The first time I ran and did my live, of course, I had 2 armed security guys. Everyone told me, the people in the courthouse is like, make sure you have security. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. It wasn't just me, but I'll tell you what I experienced. Diddy's supporters surrounding me, threatening me, saying that they were going to hurt me. It was a serious situation. It got so bad and there was so much chaos and violence that they actually had to lock the courtroom down and force the Diddy supporters across the street. It was something myself, the news media, mainstream media, new media have never seen in their lives. The level, and again, the jurors, I hope to God they know how to sleep at night. Because again, I'm sure they did their duty. But when all that chaos was happening, as I was being threatened and ushered out by armed security people, I thought, this is what the jury did. They sent a signal that it is okay to use violence. It's okay to drug people up. It's okay to live a life of debauchery. It's okay to do whatever you want. Because guess what? If you work hard enough and you have enough money and enough delusional fans and you have ingrained yourself in culture enough that you can do whatever you want. And 12 of your peers will look the other way. Again, this jury was shocking.
Tissa Tells, when you say that Sean Combs supporters threatened you, what were they saying?
They were saying, you effing B, we're going to kill you, you effing B. Apparently I work for the feds. You're a plant. You made this all up because of you. Again, they're not too smart.
Tissa and Gene Deal are not the only names being tied to these allegations, as some online commentators have also pointed to Jamie Foxx, claiming without verified evidence that he was poisoned by Sean Combs last year and later targeted again after allegedly speaking out. Supporters of this theory question whether it is simply coincidence that people connected to Diddy reportedly face harassment or attacks afterward, while also alleging that Jamie Foxx required stitches following an alleged confrontation with one of Diddy's supporters.
Actor Jamie Foxx was injured during an altercation at a Beverly Hills restaurant. Foxx is speaking out about the incident, which is being investigated by police. It comes just days after the Oscar winner revealed for the first time that a brain bleed caused him to suffer a stroke last year. Here's ABC's Phil Lipoff.
Tonight, actor Jamie Foxx is recovering after an altercation at his birthday dinner in Beverly Hills left him needing stitches. Local police received a call about an incident at the high-end Mr. Chow restaurant near Rodeo Drive just after 10 p.m. Friday night. A representative for the actor saying someone from another table threw a glass that hit Foxx in the face. It's unclear whether Foxx was involved in the fight or merely a bystander. No arrests were made, but the investigation remains ongoing. It has already been an eventful month for the Oscar winner. In his recently released Netflix stand-up special, Foxx opened up about the mysterious health crisis that put him in the hospital for several weeks last year.
I was fighting for my life, but I'm here in front of you.
Foxx telling the audience a doctor gave his family a grim diagnosis.
He told my sister some horrible news about her big brother. He said he's having a brain bleed that's led to a stroke.
But now, the actor is proud he beat the odds.
Said I couldn't walk But look at me now.
And Lindsay, Fox appears to be keeping this positive attitude through this latest incident, writing on social media this morning, "The devil is busy, but I'm too blessed to be stressed."
Some critics allege that people who attempt to expose Sean Combs or speak publicly about his alleged crimes often end up facing harm, intimidation, or retaliation. They also point to Dwayne Davis, who has spoken publicly about the killing of Tupac Shakur, claiming he was suspiciously attacked in prison after discussing Diddy's alleged connection to the case. Supporters of these theories further reference past reports in which Diddy was named as a person of interest following accusations that he allegedly offered $10 million in connection with Tupac's murder.
We have an update now on Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. He's charged in the murder of Tupac Shakur. Davis was in court again this morning after a fight with another inmate. Fox 5's Mike Allen walks us through what happened.
Dwayne Davis is answering for a jailhouse brawl. Here's what court records show, along with images from surveillance video released by Las Vegas Justice Court. On December 23rd, Davis was being escorted back into his cell when another inmate, Rockland Hamilton, who's also facing a charge, is standing to the right by a sink in this room. Hamilton walked over to Davis and squared up, looking ready to fight. They started throwing punches and grappling, and the officer escorting Davis called for backup, gave verbal commands too for the inmates to stop fighting.
Big Homie CC claimed that he has allegedly been poisoned 3 times since speaking out against Sean Combs, and during an appearance on Piers Morgan Uncensored, he alleged that people who publicly criticize Diddy are made to disappear. He also claimed to have received threats for speaking out and suggested that the death of Kim Porter from pneumonia was not merely a coincidence, alleging that disturbing events are happening behind the scenes.
And this sounds familiar. You know, along this path, I've been poisoned 3 times. My toxicology report showed cyanide. And, you know, cyanide metabolizes into pneumonia in your body. So I've had pneumonia on 3 occasions. You know, and these problems didn't start for me until I started to speak out about people like this. You know, it's been a hard time to line up this interview because the last time I was scheduled to be in this interview, randomly, our car gets hit from the side by a blacked out vehicle. No license plate. That's happened 3 times this month so far.
Really?
Somebody didn't want me to do this interview. Yeah, somebody didn't want me to do this interview. You know, I'm somebody where I've had FBI come to my house before and tell me they found a threat against my life. So, you know, I'm well versed in this world. But, you know, I got round the clock security. One of them was sitting right here with me right now. This is a dangerous game people are playing, and it's a good feeling for me to see the justice system prevail, and some people deserve retribution.
You clearly feel that Sean Combs, over the years, has made people disappear.
Right. Well, Pierce, let me ask you a question. From your journalistic perspective, have you ever noticed how in this industry, people untimely meet their demise as soon as somebody else seems like they're having a problem? Have you ever seen that before?
Well, there was, of course, the case of one of his other ex-girlfriends, Kim Porter, who died of pneumonia at a very young age. You just referenced your own situation with pneumonia that you believe was deliberate poisoning. Do you believe that may be what happened to her?
Why are so many people coming down with pneumonia? Why is that happening to everybody? What is that about? Where have you ever seen this many cases of pneumonia associated with one situation? So, you know.
There were rumors.
I'm not saying.
Well, I was going to mention on this that there have been rumors circulating online that Diddy may have poisoned Jamie Foxx, which caused his 2023 hospitalization. In his Netflix show, he compared Combs to the devil in revealing his near-death experience after a brain bleed and stroke. He said, I say this all the time, I saw the tunnel, I didn't see the light. It was hot in that tunnel. Have I gone to the wrong place? I looked up at the end of a tunnel and I thought I saw the devil saying, come on, or was that Puffy?
Gene Deal has stated in multiple interviews that he is not concerned about any alleged threats from Sean Combs or his supporters, making clear that he refuses to be intimidated and believes the truth must be spoken regardless of consequences. He says he remained silent for too long despite witnessing significant events, and now that attention is being drawn to the matter, he has no intention of backing down. Gene also addressed reported altercations outside the courthouse, describing them as attempts at intimidation that he claims do not affect him.
I'm not gonna worry about somebody that I bodyguard. And God knows I can bodyguard myself with his blessings. I can bodyguard myself with his blessings, bro. I'm not worried about that. Nothing beats an ambush, and I know that. But I'm not worried about his shit. People just need to talk about something. They want to have something to say, man. Oh, Gene got to be worried, so like that. So, shouldn't I have been worried when he was out here on the street? When he was out here on the street, I should have been worried. Yo, bro, August the 14th, 1999. High-speed chase in Harlem. You understand? I didn't know that he didn't send nobody after me then. Because niggas do that shit. They'll send somebody at you. I've seen dudes that do shit and they have Nick right there in the same clique and they didn't even know he did it. So how I know those 4 guys, 5 guns to my head wasn't sitting by him. When Roger Bonds come and say later that Diddy wanted something done to Gene Deal. How I know?
Gene Deal has alleged that even before any trial proceedings, there were attempts made to silence him, claiming he received calls from individuals close to Sean Combs while Diddy was in prison, with messages implying he could be paid to stay quiet or pressured into silence one way or another. Gene has described himself as a grown man who worked with Diddy for over a decade, saying he is fully aware of what he believes Diddy is capable of.
I seen that Diddy tried to silence you, or tried to get you to stop talking about him.
This is relayed to me by Kirk Burrows. This guy is like this with Diddy. You seen him on Drink Champs with him. You see him walking the streets in Miami with him, the whole 9 yards. So I'm saying to him, what does he want to talk to me for? He ain't got enough to say. He ain't got nothing to say to me. He said, yo, Gene, he said enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Enough is enough to what? And I told Kirk Burrows, I said, yo, if he want to, I said, he don't want to talk to me for himself. He wants to talk to me for Diddy. And I ain't got nothing to say to him. He ain't said enough is enough to Wolf mother when he cursed out and told her all kinds of shit. Did he say enough is enough to Big's mother? What do you mean enough is enough? And that's how that conversation went.
How did you feel about it after you were done?
I felt that, like, because they must have got at Kirk Burrows, because Kirk called me with the bullshit. Yo, you got to fix that. You know this. Man, God, excuse me. Listen here, bro. I don't care nothing about none of these industry cats and what they do and how they do it. That's their business. You understand? I don't tell a man how to screw his wife and how to spend his money. You don't tell me what I got to do with my time. Point blank.
You know, do you feel like at some point Diddy could try to come after you or do something, you know, being that he's went after a lot of people, you know, he's did a lot of stuff.
What happens with exposures? You make yourself vulnerable to all kinds of attacks, seen and unseen. What happened to my friend? When he passed away, there was $250,000 on my head and $150,000 on his. But what if I had decided to go back with my head held low and said, Sean, I'm willing to play the game. And then found a way to get inside of him and move him around.
It has been claimed that Sean Combs ordered retaliation against individuals who speak out about him, with reports suggesting that Gene Deal received calls warning him to remain silent.
And you right about Diddy phone being tapped, because news came out that his former bandmate from Dirty Money, she called the other group member Dunn 58 times trying to get her to stop the lawsuit against Diddy.
She ain't the only one he was trying to get in contact with. Do you understand? He sent somebody through somebody else to try to get in contact with me, telling me enough is enough. Oh, okay. You tell Big Mama that enough is enough. You can't tell Wolf Mama enough is enough. You tell D Ferg Mama enough is enough. You understand? You tell all those people who supported you and they survivors, enough is enough.
You didn't tell me about this. So he tried to get somebody to reach out to you?
No, I got a phone call from Kirk Burroughs. And Kirk Burroughs, and I ain't gonna even get this guy no play. Not Kirk Burroughs, but one of the Puff dudes that I know that's real close to him said, Kirk told me, yo, he wanna reach out to you, Gene. He wanna speak to you. I said, speak to me for what? What do you want to speak to me for? If he's trying to speak to me, it's for Puff. Point blank. I know the dude. I know how close he is to Puff. He's been with Puff from day one. So he ain't got nothing to say to me, bro. But Kirk Burroughs did say to me that the dude said enough is enough. When do it becomes enough?
Freddie P., a former member of Day Band, has also made claims suggesting the alleged threats extend beyond Gene Deal. He reportedly warned Cassie Ventura to leave the country once Sean Combs is released, alleging that people connected to Diddy may be planning retaliation and that Cassie could be at risk. Freddie P. further claimed she should leave with her family, suggesting that if Diddy cannot reach her directly, those close to her might also be targeted.
And now Cassie, just go ahead and move out the country, baby. Pack a little white guy up, get on out of here. We'll protect your family. Because if you think Sean and he done beat it, and you got 30 out of him, at the least, me personally, at the least, I would get your boyfriend every time somebody see him. Like, I wouldn't have to be there. So I'm telling you, if I would do that, I don't know, you know Sean better than me. Cassie.
So you believe that Diddy, he'll try to harm Cassie if he get out?
I think so. I'm not trying to... Man, it's hard because I don't know what Sean's getting out. I don't know what Sean is getting out of prison. I don't know if Sean is reformed. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if Sean's gonna get out more arrogant now that you just beat the feds. You see his kids dancing around, they don't look grateful. They look like, yeah, we gonna keep winning. That's not the attitude I would be giving. When I beat my case, when I walked out on my case, I dropped to my fucking knees. I didn't want to be around nobody. I'm happy as shit. I'm not celebrating blowing up in the law face because I know I was just fucking crying, begging God. Nobody was in there with me. I was begging him. So how I look like to get out here and act like some macho hero, like I wasn't just being a little bitch on my knees for my father to save me when nobody else would. So I don't know what P. Diddy getting out. But me, personally, you took 30 million from me, I would advise you to get it. I would get out and tell you to leave the country.
Claims about Sean Combs and his business and entertainment network facing growing scrutiny have intensified, with some observers suggesting that individuals who were previously silent are now speaking out more openly. Supporters of this narrative argue that the volume of accusations, testimonies, and alleged threats appears to be increasing, and they point to what they describe as eyewitness accounts and reported statements as evidence rather than mere speculation. They further suggest the situation is still developing and encourage audiences to follow updates as new details emerge.